So JoJolion just ended, and with that I wanted to do a summary chapter review of how JoJolion ended and give my thoughts on chapter 110. So if you haven't read it or seen it, I'll leave it under the description below so you guys can check it out. So here we go. So we go back to the 1920s where Lucy and Fumi-kun are fighting the guardrail, and Lucy gets trapped by the guardrail, and we find out that the guardrail is actually a creature. My theory is that I think it's a rock creature sent by Toru or laid there by Toru. Fumi-kun then helps Lucy, and eventually the guardrail sends the corpse of the driver to attack them. Fumi-kun handles the driver, and Lucy finds out that Fumi-kun is actually a Joestar because she sees Fumi-kun's shoulder and the Joestar birthmark. Then she just tells Fumi-kun to turn on the car. Clearly Fumi is busy handling the corpse, but Lucy tells him to turn on the car. Fumi does this by using his stand, Hermit Purple, and they escape the guardrail. We then find out that Fumi's real name is Joseph Joestar, so yes, he's this universe's Joseph Joestar from part 2, 3, 4. And yes, he is related to Johnny Joestar from part 7. Being his grandson, no wonder Lucy felt a familiarity with Fumi-kun. But during their escape from the guardrail, Lucy catches Toru digging up the Rokakaka. So there we see Toru. Really nice to see him, especially with his limited appearance, but there we can see the reason why Lucy wanted to come to Japan for the first place. And we were correct that Fumi-kun and Lucy Steele's relationship is similar to Speedwagon and Joseph's from part 2, as Lucy Steele eventually dies later, single, back in America. Fumi-kun goes with Lucy Steele back to America to make sure she's okay, and as much as they wanted to go back to Japan, they couldn't because of World War II, so that still happens. And Fumi-kun eventually meets Suzy Q while working for the Speedwagon Foundation, and they got married and eventually had Holy Joestar. After that, we got more information on just JoJolion, a recap on what's happening and what has happened. And then eventually we go back with Josuke and Yasuho leaving GG University Hospital. And in there they talk about, since they don't have the Lokakaka anymore, they don't know what to do. And Josuke is still hopeful that they can find it in another land or another place. They meet Josefumi's mother, and at first Josuke's like, whatever, she abandoned me. She probably forgot about me. It doesn't matter. But Yasuho goes under her phone and says, well, she still cared about Josefumi, and she just moved on due to him being missing for a long time. There he talks about that Josefumi and Yoshikage Kira are now dead ever since he awoken back at the Walleyes, and says they're nothing but memories. But Yasuho then goes in a speech, quote, if at the very end all that remains are memories and dreams, then maybe a dream was born out of that soil. Basically saying that if our memories are bad, we can always dream for a better future, which Yasuo has been having ever since she met Josuke in the beginning of part 8. Also, fun fact, Josefumi is called that because her mother found Fumi-kun's sandal, and so she just called Josefumi out of Joseph from part 8. So anyways, we go back to the Higashikata fruit parlor and we meet all the other Higashikatas. There they talk about getting a cake, and it seems something bad has happened, seeing as they were gonna get a cake, and Hato says that just give them fruit because something unfortunate has happened. They tell Josuke to pick the cake, and our last panel is Yasuho leaving the Higashikata fruit parlor, looking back at Josuke and his new family picking a cake because of something bad that's happened. Man, I started JoJolion back at the beginning of the Wonder of You arc and has stayed ever since. Kind of a wild ride, especially the last arc as it was its climax, and I guess it really did live up to the hype. I'll give this chapter an 8 out of 10, I guess, because it did explain a lot of things, especially from the past, what happened to Lucy, and the aftermath of JoJolion, what happened after the Wonder of You. It was, I guess, dealt good. I know that this isn't the last time we're gonna see the Higashikatas, but if this truly is the last time we'll see these guys, I guess it was a bittersweet ending. Carrera got mentioned, so that was a big W for us Carrera fans. As much as I want to talk about predictions and theories, I want to make a separate video about that because I originally made like bullet points, a script about JoJo Part 9 theories and predictions, but now after reading chapter 110, everything has changed and I have to do a few edits, maybe even come up with new predictions and theories because of that. There is still a lot left to uncover, you know, a lot of mysteries like the walleyes and Mystery Man especially. But I feel like this isn't the last time we'll see the Higashikatas from part 8 and Yashuho. So with all that being said and done, have a beautiful I think somebody already says that. Have a di molto day, I guess. I don't know. That was a horrible ending. Bye.